despite growing concern about world food supplies, a recent UN report cites a water crisis as the world's chief barrier to lifting people out of poverty. Lack of clean water is also linked to a shortened life expectancy. Voice of America's Caroline Turner has more on a water program aimed at using schools to provide clean water and lifelong lessons for good hygiene.
Every day, 4,500 children will die of illnesses connected to water and sanitation.
I think what people don't understand about water, sanitation, and hygiene is it's huge, and it has life and death consequences.
Lee Lysine works with an organization called Kind World, which funds water programs. It aims to help the more than 1 billion people who lack safe drinking water and more than 2.5 billion people who lack sanitation facilities. Water Advocates, a Washington, D.C.-based nonprofit, is taking a unique approach through schools to implement Wash in Schools, a program to provide clean drinking water, sanitation, and hygiene education.
If you just attack one of the three issues, if you only look at water, if you only look at the sanitation problems, and basically we're talking toilets here or the lack thereof, if you only look at hygiene, you can't holistically solve the problem.
Young girls are the focus of this project. They are on the front line of water problems. Girls who should be in school instead travel long distances for their families to get water. The water they retrieve is often unsafe and exposes them to harmful water-related diseases. Those young girls deprived of an education need to be in school to learn about sanitation in order to help break the cycle of poverty. Global Water Challenge, as Tanvi Naval explains the challenges in Kenya.
It gets transferred into how they raise their children eventually. Especially not having sanitation in schools is a terrible deterrent. When girls start menstruating, they stop going to school because there are no toilets for them to go to school. So when you do have water and sanitation in school, you find that girls will stay in school past grade 5.
Adolescent girls suffer most from the reality that half the world's schools lack adequate latrines. In search of privacy, they will go far from school buildings for fear of being seen. They risk sexual attack in these lonely areas, and they need to be in school to learn how good hygiene prevents waterborne diseases. Ned Breslin, Director of International Programs at Water for People, has a model program in Malawi.
We want to get 100% coverage in the district of Chikwawa, which is in the south of Malawi. It's over 500 schools, and what we would like to do is develop a model so that those schools not only are serviced but can sustain and replace their systems over time.
Much is at stake with the success of the Wash in Schools program. The health of children, attendance in school, an opportunity to learn rather than carry water, and an escape from the vicious circle of poverty. Safe water is not a luxury. It is life. Carolyn Turner, VOA News.
For more information on these stories, go to voanews.com/TV to Africa. It's time for another break. When we come back, helping young girls in a dangerous neighborhood, one woman's fight.